Okay, today's notes are over regulation and reproduction and what body systems will interact. First is the excretory system. The primary job of the excretory system is to remove waste from the body. Remove waste from the body. Okay, I did tell you the way to remember that is EX, like exit. So anything exiting your body. Okay. It's important to remove these wastes from the body because it will keep your body in balance and it's going to prevent homeostasis from being disrupted. So, on number 2 on your notes, it says, what would the buildup of waste disrupt is homeostasis, which is your, if you don't remember, is your steady balance. You have a few different organs that will filter waste from your blood. One of them is your kidneys. The main one is your kidney. And then it's going to send the extra water and waste to the bladder. This is number 3. And number 4 is your bladder. Then your next question asks you, in the gray box, filtering waste from the blood shows the excretory system interacting with what system? Is your circulatory system. Okay, if I want you to look over here really quick, and I want you to notice that you have 2 kidneys, 1, 2, and then you have something called ureters that go down, connect to your bladder. So once your kidneys filter out that stuff from your blood, it goes into your bladder, and once your bladder is full, we all know what happens, and you have to go to the bathroom, and it goes out your urethra. Okay, as the kidneys help to regulate your water levels in your body, if there's plenty of water, your kidneys will send the extra to the bladder, and then your urine is almost clear. So if you drink a whole lot, you have plenty of water in your body, so your urine is going to be clear. If you do not have enough water in your body, your urine will be yellow. So, what does it mean if a person's urine is bright yellow? It means that they do not have enough water. And on Monday, you learned where your solid waste gets stored before you excrete it, as in your colon. Remember that? Your solid waste goes to your colon. And you have one more waste product that you create when you breathe, and you breathe it out. That is your carbon dioxide. It's a gaseous waste product made by every cell is your carbon dioxide. Okay, and then you have your gray box again. It says the breathing out of gaseous waste shows the excretory system interacting with what other system? And that is your respiratory system. If you breathe out the waste, it's your respiratory system. Okay, your next question asks you, what do we call the organs of the endocrine system? They are endocrine glands. Endocrine glands. What do these glands secrete? They secrete chemical signals called hormones. Write all of it. Chemical signals called hormones. In order for an organ to be considered part of the endocrine system, It needs to be able to secrete hormones. It needs to be able to secrete or release. It's a fancy word for release. Okay, you should be at the gray box that says hormones being made by the brain shows the endocrine system interacting with what system? If you're talking about your brain, it should be your nervous system. Nervous system. Your brain does secrete many important hormones. As you can see in this diagram up here, you have all these different glands in your brain and they release different things, not your thyroid. But all these are secreted in your brain. Hormones will travel throughout your body and they are going to be secreted in your blood and distributed in your blood. Okay, gray box. Distributing hormones in the blood shows the endocrine system interacting with what other system? Is your circulatory system. Okay, your question. Hormones attach to receptor proteins in the cell's membrane. They attach to receptor proteins in the cell's membrane. Write it all. I'm going to write small on that one. When they attach, it causes a chain reaction to regulate gene expression. You've heard this before. Regulate means to, like if I were to regulate your allowance, it means to control. Okay, control. And gene expression means what one is turned on and which gene is turned off. Okay, your question says this shows that gene expression can be regulated by what? It can be regulated by the cell's environment. The cell's environment. Change my pen color. Cell's environment. Okay, your next question starts talking about metabolism. Remember that we talked about if you have a high metabolism, it means you can digest food faster and you work better. Okay, hormones will actually help to regulate an organism's metabolism by directing the function or the job and the growth of the cells. So, it's a long line to write on. It says, how do hormones regulate the body's metabolism? By directing or controlling the function or the job and the growth of cells. Directing the function and the growth of cells. The definition I want you to write down for homeostasis is the steady balance of water and nutrients and energy. Homeostasis is steady balance of water, nutrients, and energy. Continuing on with the endocrine system, you have a bunch of different hormones in your body. One of them is called adrenaline. You've heard of that a lot if you you have an adrenaline rush. Okay, adrenaline is also known by the word by the word epinephrine. Epinephrine. Okay, if you have an adrenaline rush, sometimes you got scared Sometimes you might be going fast. Sometimes you might be jumping off a building, okay? You're going to have an adrenaline rush, and it's with a stressful or a dangerous situation. It'll trigger a fight or flight response. I want you to write it all. Stressful or dangerous situation and triggers a fight or flight response. We're not going to talk about this right now, but we're going to talk about it a little bit next class, okay? Your next question asks you, which sex, male or female, have more testosterone? Males have more testosterone. And it's called testosterone. Kind of sounds like testes. Okay, that's the organ that will secrete them, is the testes. Your next question asks you, what does testosterone increase? It increases muscle mass, which means the total volume of your muscle. It also increases bone density and facial hair. Okay, your gray box, affecting muscles and bones, shows the endocrine system interacting with what other systems? And you're going to write two this time. You have muscular and skeletal systems. Muscular and skeletal systems. Okay, if men have more testosterone, females have more estrogen. Estrogen are found in females. And it's made by the ovaries. Your gray box asks you, the ovaries making hormones shows the endocrine system interacting with what other system? That is your reproductive system. Reproductive system. Okay, reproductive organs that we have in our bodies. We have males have testes and females have ovaries. These specialized reproductive organs create gamete cells. There's that word again, which are your baby-making cells. The male gamete cell is the what? And the female gamete cell is the, okay, male gamete's the sperm. Female gamete is the egg or ovum. If you look in this picture right here, it shows a sperm fertilizing an egg. And when they fuse together, they create a single cell known as a zygote. I'm going to skip this video. I'll post it on Edmodo though if you're interested. Okay, offspring, you're going to hear me say that a lot. Offspring is just children. Okay, that's all that means. Offspring means children. There's an organ that will surround the fetus in a growing mom, and that's called the placenta. It's in the uterus. So what organ surrounds the fetus is the placenta. And then your next question asks you, the fetus and placenta are inside of which reproductive organ? It's the uterus. Okay, what carries nutrients into the growing fetus is the umbilical cord. Then your question says, a mother's blood nourishing the placenta shows the reproductive system working with what? Well, we said the mother's blood, right? Blood is always the circulatory system. Okay. Babies are born when muscle contractions in the uterus push the baby through the birth canal. And so what do we call the tightening of muscles? Those are muscle contractions. And your last question, muscle contractions during birth shows the reproductive system working with what? Well, we said muscle contraction, right? So we're talking about the muscular system. Alright, what I want you to do now, guys, is now that you're finished with your notes, if you did not catch all of them, please trade notes with a friend and make sure that you get all of them before you leave the class. You're going to do the independent practice next and use what you just learned. Okay? I should be having my baby tomorrow, Thursday the 7th. So if you don't hear from me for a while, if you can't get a hold of me through email, that's probably why. So make sure you have all of your grades turned in to Miss Shirley, and I'll do the notes for Friday. Bye.